Oh, it's another Tuesday Treadmill Talks, episode 2. So, we'll get the health part out of the way. I weighed myself and I gained 2 pounds. How wonderful. It's because of Valentine's Day and I got candy. And I ate most of them already. Because when it comes to truffles and creams and all that, I have no self-control. It's one of the few candies I don't have any control over. Because as a kid and now, we've always had candy in the house. So unlike most kids, I just don't give a crap because it's always there. So I eat it occasionally, Maybe one little fun-sized chocolate a day. With the exception of Hershey's Kisses, where I eat 12 of them, so I try not to eat them. But yeah, the main update is I'm going to be getting a gym membership on Thursday. I got the cash. I babysat, which was really interesting, because I've never done that before. Thankfully, the 2 kids, because they were 5 and 3, the 3-year-old shit his pants right as his parents came in, and they had to deal with the diaper. I didn't have to. I was like, see ya. So, yeah. So let's get into, there's one question from these, and yes, I will answer your questions on the next Tuesday Treadmill Talks, if you leave me questions. It was Comic Book Estate asking if I'll go to SatCon. No, and I will tell you why, because I'm going to go to Gen Con in Indianapolis. And that's going to be a whole lot of money. And I'm now going to bitch and moan about sacrifices I make so I can hang out with Matt Wilkins. Yeah, that's the whole deal, is Matt Wilkins and me are going to be hanging out for that weekend. It's going to be really rad. I have to buy a plane ticket. I almost was tempted to get a bus ticket, but I don't think I could go 3 days without showering. It's going to be a 62-hour bus ride. Yeah, I'm not going to handle that. Also, it's too expensive to fly direct to Indianapolis, so I'm flying to where Matt lives, then riding in his car out to Indianapolis and back, and then flying from where he lives back to Sac, essentially, which is not where I live. Where I live, we have an airport, but it's for private people who have their own private little planes and stuff. And then the town I get comics in has a shitty airport. I fucking hate going there. And they don't have actually a direct flight to either place. Of course. But I was looking at the cheapest flight, and hopefully I can get it. It's like 600 something bucks, and I only have half that right now. But it was it's 2 hours to fly to Texas, and then you have a 5-hour layover. I fucking hate layovers. But that's probably my longest layover I've ever had. Right there. And then it's an hour flight from there. So you can do your estimates on where Matt Wilkins lives. But yeah, 5-hour layover. The most I've ever done by myself was 3. And that was horrible. That was flying from Sacramento to Kalispell, Montana, back in high school. My grandparents live up in the middle of nowhere in the northwestern part of the state, near the Canadian border. Really beautiful place, but it's so far out there. Like Kalispell, it's like 2.5 hours to get to their house once you get to Kalispell driving. But yeah. Yeah, the longest, and that was in Seattle, which I watched a lightning storm because Seattle has like the worst fucking weather whenever I'm there. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Seattle and the weather's shitty. It's pouring rain, and that's like the best weather I've ever been in. Literally one time, this was the time with the 3-hour layover. This is what the plane did. And I was at the back of the plane. And I'm like, oh god, our plane's gonna get struck by lightning and blow up. Or we're just gonna crash. I'm gonna die. Yeah, that was a wonderful time. Otherwise, I love flying. But like, I looked at M-Track, which I forgot how fucked up M-Track is. Because I wanted to get like a car with like a bed in it. That's $500 one way. I'm like, oh fuck that. I want a round trip. Let's see what's up. So there's that, and then there's getting the Gen Con ticket, which that's a little pricey as well, but nowhere near as bad as the plane ticket. And then there's saving money so I can actually buy stuff at Gen Con, and hopefully meet some writers and people from stuff. I don't know who's all going except for Chuck Wendig, which that'd be funny. Jeremy getting a picture with his least favorite author. Oh boy. What a great deal. Chucky boy and me. Oh, and the reason it's really dark, it's not even 5 o'clock in the morning yet. Yeah. I went to bed too early last night. And I woke up at 4:30 to my dad's alarm. Not mine. Mine was set for 5. No, my dad's alarm went off. I'm like, wonderful. And there, speaking of alarms, mine just popped up. So let's talk some comics. What comes out this week? Naturally, everything comes out this week because I'm not going to be buying it, probably. Danger Girl comes out. The last issue of Danger Girl comes out. And Dark Knight 3. My 2 main print books that I've been waiting for. So that's annoying. Naturally, it's the 2 I review on top of that. So I don't know if I'll get... I'm going to be getting one more haul before the Gen Con saving really begins. And I don't know if I'll tack those on. Because I got a lot last week of some Star Wars comics, which I haven't done in a while. But it was a really good deal. And I won a bidding war. So I got them for on the cheap side. They're Empire comics. Which I haven't talked about that series. But that's one of my favorites. That was one of the first series I read, actually. There's some great stuff in there. So what else has been going on? Oh, I read Obi-Wan and Anakin #1. That actually wasn't bad. For new canon stuff, it was actually pretty damn good. It has the best art I've seen so far. And that's really saying something, because all these Marvel comics have in common is they have really good art. Not necessarily cover art, in my opinion. I know I'm in a minority over that, but I've seen better covers. But interior-wise, Anakin Obi-Wan has better art. It's all like tones of blue. And I really like that. Plus, I think it's Kieran Gillen writing it. It's either Kieran Gillen or Greg Rucka or someone's ass. But the artist, I think, is the same guy from Shattered Empire. The, Journey to the Force Awakens comic. Yeah. So, read that. It's about the only comic I've read. As you figured, I finished Shadows of the Empire. Little less than halfway through Force Awakens, the novel. And it will be the last new canon thing I review before my road to Crucible gets hit hard. because I got the Essential Reader's Companion, so I started mapping everything out. So I have my first Truce of Bakura. I consider the first step in the road to Crucible. I mean, I skipped the the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy back then, and I'll get to it sometime, but I don't think it's essential. But I was looking at stuff, and I want to get to Courtship of Princess Leia by August, because I'm thinking, and Matt's thinking this too, that Dave Wolverton's going to be there, and I want him to sign that, but I want to read it first. Yeah, so I finished. So I have the first book done, but I have the 3rd through like 8th stuff done, because I did most of X-Wing Rogue Squadron, the comic. So I'm missing number 2, which is Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand, which I'll do next. Then I'll have a whole bunch of... I'm going to just start a new playlist on YouTube, and it'll be The Road to Crucible. And that will be featured at the top of my channel, so you can check out all my Road to Crucible stuff. But when I mean by, say, 32 stories, I'm counting one-shot comics that I have in Omnibuy. Like Boba Fett Twin Engines of Destruction's in there. That's a one-shot. I actually have that single issue. And, yeah. There's a lot of weird one-off stuff I am going to do. There's some stuff I won't. I'm not going to touch Adventure Journal stuff. Adventure Journals are really hard to find. And considering I don't even have Junior Jedi Knights, which I legit need, that's not... Adventure Journals are not a primary concern. And Adventure Journals were stories that were sort of a spin-off of the West End Games RPG supplements that were just written in like a literary format. So like they read as stories, and they're just short stories. All sorts of people did them. Like Timothy Zahn did some, for instance. Let's see. But pretty much my road to Crucible is paved. I'm missing 3-4 X-Wing novels, which I need at least 2 of them before I read Courtship of Princess Leia. I need to own 2 of them. Missing Cross Current and then Junior Jedi Knights, and that's about it. And I'm skipping the Tales comic stuff. So I'm going to hit Tales. I don't know, sometimes it's not a primary concern to me to review Tales. Because there's so many fucking stupid Tales stories. Like the Max Rebo Band stuff. I know people shit on Skippy the Jedi Droid a lot. When the Max Rebo Band stuff was like the Jar Jar of the Tales comics, it just kept showing up. And you didn't want it to, but it was there. Yeah, fuck that. Let's see. Sorry, there's dead air. I thought about doing a live Q&A, but I said no. Because I saw Matt's live Q&A and how he had a crisis with the questions. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So if you have a question, leave it down in these comments. So, and I'll answer it in the next episode. I'll just write them out and put them right here on the tray, just to my camera. That's pretty much it. There's not a lot to talk about, except Gen Con. We're gonna bitch about for a while how fucking expensive it is. But hey, it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. So yeah. Anyway, guys, have a nice day.